Welcome back to Season 4, Episode 9 of Teed Up, where everyone's a sports expert, the podcast that makes you care about sports, including President Connolly. We are an original podcast created and produced by Long Beach State student-owned newspaper, the Long Beach Current. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and thank you guys for being here. Today, we're joined by Long Beach State club hockey team, Paul Wagner, Alexandro Ruelas. Just thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having us. We're so excited.
You guys have a sport that you told me no one even knows exists.
Yep.
As sad as it is, but yeah, it's true. A lot of the time what we hear is we ask people to come out to games, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is like, we have a club hockey team. Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty destroying feeling. You're like, oh, wow, okay, we put in all this work, we're putting in all this time, and people don't even have a clue that it's happening. But we've been getting a lot better. You know, we have our PR person, Lauren, here. She's been doing a great job. Last season we had Pogue, who was a player, and we had Cora, and they did a fantastic job. And we've been getting a lot more followers, a lot more traction, a lot more people coming to our games because we've been promoting it, all these things. But we've been getting a lot better. We've been getting a lot more fans out. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing for us right now.
Yeah, I have to say, social media looks a lot better. Very clean, up to date.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
all Lauren. That's all Lauren,
dude. She's been on it.
When you kind of like tell people at Week of Welcome, is it recruiting people to come to games? They're trying to fill a roster?
Recruiting for games.
Yeah, recruiting for games. Just trying to get fans out.
Yeah, we have a good enough roster. We got some pretty nasty guys out there, but it's mostly just getting like an on-campus awareness. Because, like Paul said, we're pretty much paying people to come to our tent sometimes for a Week of Welcome. Yeah. I think we're out like $80 that day. Yeah. So that was tough.
I don't know if we were allowed to do it, but at Week of Welcome, I was just literally like a busker on the street. I was like, hey, if you guys make a shot, like I'll give you $1. And sometimes they wouldn't even make it. I just felt bad, and I was like, all right, here's $1. You guys can have it. So. Yeah, I was down about $80 that day at Week of Welcome. It was overall a good turnout, though, because we got a lot of people. We handed out a lot of flyers. There were people that actually showed up to the game. And we just played Fullerton recently, which had a great turnout. We had CSULB cheer, the club team there. And then besides that, there was still a bunch of fans in the stands, which was a great turnout. We ended up losing that game, which sucked, but there was a lot of fighting, which we did tell people that would be included. Coming to a Long Beach game, there would be fighting, and that did happen. So overall, a great turnout.
Love the grassroots campaigning. Going $80 down just to get people out to games. I mean, we got no budget. You guys have a budget, but you're using your own pocket as well.
Our wallets,
the budget was straight out of my bank account. So, it was what was required. I felt like probably not, but it got a lot of people in the door, and I think that was kind of the biggest thing. It was a good $80 spent, I think. And then next time we did the smorgasbord, and we kind of like downgraded a little bit to candy instead, which still gets people in, but it's not as good as a $1 bill. How
can fans come watch you?
Yeah, just come up to Lakewood Ice. I don't know the address, but usually Friday, Saturday, 7:30. That's our home games. If you check out our Instagram at LBSU Hockey, Lauren does a great job of promoting those games. So that's where you can come check us out. It's free with the student ID. If you don't have that, it's $5 to enter.
And then as a player, how do you kind of manage those gaps in the schedule? I mean, 2 weeks, no game? What are you doing during that time?
Yeah.
This.
Like, what's the practice schedule kind of like?
I think it's Tuesday, Thursday, 6:45 a.m. till, 8?
Yeah.
And then off to class.
Yeah.
So just 2 times a week and go hard as we can and hope for the best come weekends.
Yeah. And then what you do a lot during like the 2-week gap, I mean, some of the guys don't do it, but I put a lot of work in. They call me Sidney Crosby of CSULB Hockey. Like I went to stick time this morning. So like you just do a lot of stuff that it's not organized, but it's still, you're going out there, you're practicing, you're getting the reps in and all that. Like I went this morning at 8 a.m. Sorry, I keep flexing on everybody.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah.
Sick invite.
I mean, I didn't think anybody would want to come because nobody ever usually comes because it is a club sport at the end of the day. So it's like literally the work you put in is the work you get out of it. I think I still have like 4 points in 8 games. So it's kind of tough to like keep going to stick times. And it's like, oh, there's no results on the ice. That's the part that sucks sometimes. But, you just got to keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep getting better. And yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing during off weekends is just get on the ice as much as you can.
You mentioned Sidney Crosby. You mentioned the grind. Do you ever get in the locker room and kind of do calf checks with the boys?
Nobody on our team is like physically in shape, or you look at them and you'd be like, wow, I'm jealous of that. You're just like, oh, you look like a normal guy. You look like a 35-year-old dad who has just been drinking beer for their entire life, essentially. Some people definitely look up to me, I would say. Like, they see my calves, they see my biceps, and they're like, wow, I really want to be like that. That's not coming from me either. That's
That is
straight out of
some
the
direct
guy's
quote.
mouth. Yeah, direct quote from some of the guys' mouths. Yeah, I mean, some of the guys are in shape for the most part, though. With club sports, it's almost as if the closer you get to senior year, the less in shape you get, like physically. Like we had a guy last year, Jason Barber. Shout out Jason if you're listening to this for some reason, but like looked like the most out of shape guy you've ever seen in your life. Like typical dad body. He'd tell you this himself too. Like I don't mean to I don't mean to be too
Balding.
negative about him. Yeah. It looks like he's been through the ringer essentially. But like yeah, he was a fantastic player. You would look at him physically and be like, that guy has to be struggling on the ice. Like he must have a wheelchair on the ice because there's no way he's physically able to hold himself up. So it's really the closer you get to senior year, it's almost the less in shape you get. I'm trying to do the opposite of where like I put in more work towards my senior year, because the thing that happens is it flies by. Like I still remember my freshman year, it was COVID at the time, so we had our season canceled, and then the previous season the following season we had half of our season, and then it got cut short again because COVID came back around. And right now, it being my last year playing hockey, it's almost like it came and went so fast. It's kind of sad because it's like after this, you just go straight to beer league where, you know, you're playing against a guy who is going to work a graveyard shift, or he's going to work the 6 a.m. at McDonald's as a manager. It's like, it's nowhere near the same competitive level that you have at Long Beach hockey. So that's kind of like the thing that I've been experiencing, is just like, I want to just put as much work as I can before the end of the season.
Yeah, you kind of stole my flow. That was the tough reality check question I was going to ask, because that came to my mind first is, this is it, right?
Yeah,
There's no
100%.
like next step
Yeah.
when you're playing club hockey.
Yeah.
It is straight to beer league.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's literally the hardest reality, is because I play beer league right now, but it's playing Cal State Long Beach. You're so tired at the end of the games. The entire time you're working at least as hard as you want to. Like I'm always trying to give 100% every shift I go out there. When you're in beer league, it's like I could literally stand still and make the greatest play you've ever seen, and you'd think I'd be playing in the NHL. And then you see me out at Cal State Long Beach, and I'm giving 100%. I'm just like, holy, I'm dying. My legs are giving out. I just made the worst pass to the other team right in the slot, and I just got scored on because I'm so gassed out there. But that's the thing, is it is a tough reality check, because Alejandro still has another year after this, which is nice. I lied. He just shook his head now. But 2 years?
I know I'm done after this.
He's done after this. Yeah, we're both done after this. That's exactly what I was about to say. But it's tough. It's tough knowing that the next time you're going to play like any competitive hockey is a beer league. Like that's the tough reality of it all. It sucks, but like that's kind of just the truth of it all, you know?
Do a lot of the guys not even put like a jersey on again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys that just like never play again. Like this is kind of it.
It's gonna be me.
That's
Throw my gear away after this season. I'm so done with the sport.
straight to the dumpster after that, dude. He doesn't want it anymore. But that is it. Like it takes a lot out of you, especially with your 6 a.m. practices, like waking up half the time. We got guys that just don't show up to practice because they're just like, dude, I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. I just got hammered last night. Like no shot. So that's kind of the tough part, is people just quit after it because it took so much out of you, where they're just like, I don't want to play it anymore. I don't think I could ever do that, because like I just love hockey so much, you know, it drowns out the demons, some would say. So I just, you know, it's a sport that I want to continue for the rest of my life, but the reality is beer league after this.
But there's coaching too, right?
Right.
I mean, you mentioned coaching. I
Yeah.
know Eric also started out as a player at Long Beach, right?
Yeah.
Went into coaching, left, came back and still coaches. Like, that's a reality as well.
Yep.
And it's not the same as playing on the ice, but there's still that sort of, I guess, pride in
Yeah.
playing out a roster.
100%, because Alejandro, he coaches too, I coach. But there is a big sense of pride, and like I've been coaching for 3 years now, and just being able to teach a kid and then see him execute it on the ice, you're just like, I'm the man after that. You're like, I'm the greatest coach to ever touch this game. I just taught my kid how to do a backdoor pass, and he scored on it. Like, I don't know how I'm not on an NHL team yet. Like, how am I not the assistant coach or the head coach on an NHL team? Because I'm just the greatest ever. There is that sense of pride of like, I want to be able to teach kids, and I want to be able to get them to a point where I was never able to get to, because I've only played college hockey, so I've only played ACHA D2, D3. I played a season of 18 AA wave where I had 3 points in 52 games.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, I was ripping it up that season. It was no big deal. But you want to get your kids, the people that you coach, to a point where you were never able to. So if that's, ACH, AD1, if that's NCAA, whatever it is, like, you just want to instill like these privileges and these pride in these kids. Like, hey, even if you don't make it, like, don't be a piece of shit off of the ice. Like, be a good person, instill good morals in them. So even if they do play hockey, even if they don't play hockey, you're at least making sure that, like, that time you have with a kid, they're a good person at the end of it. Because that's kind of the biggest thing with hockey, is like, it's a life lesson.
Have you guys stuck at like one position the whole time you played?
No.
No.
I wish.
Give me a run through what you played.
Well, I think starting out I was like 4 or 5 playing roller, and I could not skate for the life of me, so they put me on defense.
Yeah.
But soon then I just got to forward once I started growing, and then been jumping back and forth. But I think on the team I'm like a winger. But last weekend, because Paul got suspended, I had to take his place on D. That was brutal. That was miserable.
Yeah.
That was zero fun. But
Yeah.
Same thing with him. I think he started out as a forward. Now he's one of our best defensemen. So you're really jumping around because, well, Paul's a great skater, so he has that in his back pocket. I do not. So
I'm blushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough sport in that sense. I mean, I played hockey, and eventually you do realize you can't kick it at forward anymore.
Yeah.
Skating does come in handy.
Yeah,
I had the same
100%.
route. I got moved to defense because I stopped skating fast.
Yeah.
Wasn't putting in laps anymore, so coach stuck me on defense.
Yeah.
But even when I was a forward, I got to the point where I was like borderline second line, third line, but that's you only run 2 or 3 lines anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Had the nickname 4G, garbage, grimy, Gomez goals. Coach just told me to get in front of the net, set screens, and like that was my role.
100%. But you probably executed it to perfection.
Oh, I felt like I was like the grimiest grinder ever, but we were putting in
Greasy.
goals. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember we had like a $40 thing, like first player to score in our team's history when we played club. Worst goal ever. Took a slap shot from the point to my hand. Puck fell at my feet. Was rolling in, and I just tapped it in. Like it was someone else's goal. Fully someone else's
$40
goal.
probably made up for it. You're like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
I don't care about my hand.
Like 3 broken fingers.
Yeah. Your fingers are distorted. Be like, I got $40 to spend, dude. I love life.
I want to get some player comps. I'll start with you, Paul. You put up 3 points, 52 games. So we know you're not Cale Makar.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel out there on the ice?
Right now, I think my biggest issue when I was playing back then in like 18 AA was just like, it was genuinely a confidence issue. Like that was the whole thing. Was I would get on the ice and I would look at these kids, because I was 140 pounds at 6'2" when I was 18. So I was a stick figure. Like I was holding on to life. And I would go out on the ice and I would just see these other guys and I'm like, holy dude, you were 3 times the size of me and you have 100 pounds on me. Like, I'm not getting anywhere near you with the puck, dude. You will blow me up and kill me instantly. So I was definitely not. I think that was the issue, was the confidence. Like, I didn't have the confidence back then. And throughout my entire time at ACHA at Long Beach, like, that's my whole thing, is like, I've just been trying to build confidence. And our first game of the season, I had 4 points. I was feeling it out there. But that genuinely came from just stuff like doing stuff like meditation, having a pregame ritual, and just like even affirmations. I know you guys might think that's a girl thing, but I do positive affirmations. All right. I just tell myself, I'm like, I'm calm, I'm confident. Like, I'm going to play my best this game every single time. And that's helped me significantly.
Was it my turn for what was the question? Is it player comps?
Player comp.
So growing up, I was a big Kings fan. So like 2010s, 2011. So that was when like Kopitar was coming in. So big defense guy. So that's kind of what I try to model my game after, just being the stay-at-home like center defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But I got moved to wing, so I don't know. But I'm still first penalty kill unit. Not a big deal. So I'd say like maybe like a Philip Deneau, I guess. I don't know. Like my main goal is don't get scored on, keep the pucks to the perimeter and get it out, and give it to the more skilled guys on the team like Compton or Paul, I guess.
I did not lie. You were good with Compton. I was like,
Yeah, and I want to move over to that team. So Nate and Ian both transferred in from Fresno.
Yep.
What's that system like for club hockey? Like, is it a transfer process? Is there even eligibility?
They're always students at Cal State Long Beach, so there wasn't really a transfer. They were just playing juniors.
Yeah.
And just coming in, they just sign up, and we just tell the league, hey, they're coming from juniors, so they didn't have the eligibility credit-wise, and they gave us the appeal, like an emergency appeal, so they're good to go. But it's been a big boost skill-wise and just culture-wise as well, because they're bringing that junior ferocity of just this, high tempo, high pace of play, high intensity during practice, which is great. Coming from Compton, coming from Ian, they just love the game so much, and they just hold not only themselves but everyone else on the team to the same standard.
I heard some hats made it onto the ice. couple weeks back.
Yeah.
So like every game, Nathan Compton is
Yeah,
ripping it up.
What's that kind of atmosphere like? I guess like fans buying in. Are they friends? The fans?
They must have been. I think there were a few though. So like, I'm not sure if they were all from his friends, but Compton got like, I think he got, oh yeah, it was a hat trick weekend. So like we had 3 games and he got a hat trick every single game, which was,
Not a big deal.
it's whatever, dude. No, it was insanely impressive. But yeah, I think a couple of his friends just threw hats on the ice, and that's stuff we love. Like even if it wasn't his friend, even if it was his friend, it's like fans buying in is such a big part too. Is like the whole atmosphere of it, having people at your games, because we've had games where people have not been at it because we had 12 guys last year. So we've definitely had games where you have 3 parents in the stands and it's one of them's my mom who's just cheering me on. But it's like the atmosphere is so different from when you have people that genuinely want to come to the game. Like we had SAE at our last game. We had the cheer team at our last game, and just a bunch of random people that are either fans or they go to the school. And the whole atmosphere is just like, it makes it that much better to play because you want to just give that much more effort. You want to score a goal that much more because you want the fans to come back is the biggest thing. And that atmosphere, when you score a goal, it's like everybody's cheering for you, everybody's rooting you on. So it's awesome to play in that, and that's the stuff we love.
With like people not knowing the teams around, but you wear LBSU on the jersey.
Yeah.
Would you say it's like a sense of school pride or just like club pride?
School for sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for me personally, the reason I came here is to play college hockey, and it's always just like a pride thing of just playing for the name on the front of your jersey and not the one on your back. But I mean, like Paul said, having a crowd is just so much better. Even if it's an away game, it's just so nice to have like people chanting. Because after this, it's beer league, and no one's in the stand for beer league. Maybe your girlfriend if you're lucky.
There's one
You know,
girlfriend
and it's probably the other teams. But yeah, it's just so nice to have the cheers going for you or for the other team, and just feeling like you actually made it as a hockey player. It's like you have people cheering for you, against you, and it's just such an unreal feeling.
And then in the easiest way, can you guys lay out kind of the standing system for people who don't understand what collegiate hockey looks like on the West Coast?
Yeah, Alejandro would love to do that.
What do you mean by state? Oh, there's different conferences. We're in the West Coast Hockey Conference. So we have teams from up north like Davis, Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, Fresno, I think just joined. And then we have like a desert division in Park University, Gilbert, GCU, ASU, NAU. And there's us along with LMU's D3 team, Fullerton's D2, but it's like 3 divisions across Arizona and California, and I think top 8 make playoffs, and there's 12 in our division, so we're all fighting for one of those 8 spots, and then it's from that single elimination, 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, all the way to the finals, and if we win the finals, you get an automatic bid to nationals, and that's kind of our goal this year.
And then at nationals, like how far out can you play team-wise? Is it still the same region?
It's across the country. I think 10 or 12 teams make it, and it's pool play. So you get guaranteed 3 games to wherever it is this year. And then, it's not saying it's unrealistic, but we can definitely make it to nationals. I don't know if we'll win a game there because those teams are pretty unreal on the East Coast, Midwest. But it'd be so insane to just have a little trip with the boys to go out there.
And then you guys are Division 3, right?
Yes.
Yep. How do you move up to like Division 2?
Get better.
Oh yeah, we did.
Just like, get better.
Just get better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, our biggest issue right now is definitely just my freshman year, for example, which was 2019 was my actual freshman year. We had guys on the team that were good at hockey. They went to juniors. A lot of them played juniors and then came to Long Beach after. So you're kind of entering school as like a 24-year-old freshman because juniors, or it's 21.
Juniors is 21.
Yeah, 21. Sorry. So close enough. So it's like you enter freshman year as a 21-year-old. You have all of the experience. So you have 4 years of playing against guys who are 20 years old, and you might be an 18-year-old coming in for the first time. So we had a lot of guys that went from juniors and then came here to Long Beach. So skill-wise, definitely a lot better a couple of years ago. And then right now where we stand, I think overall we have a lot of guys on our team that are super skilled at hockey. It's just trying to connect all the dots of how do I get this guy the puck? How do we make these good passes? How do we work as a system in the zone? Because one thing we struggle at currently is just our in-zone play, like power play, breaking pucks out, just like the simple stuff that you really need to do for hockey. Because a lot of times we like to get fancy. And especially for guys for like Flick and Compton, like these guys played on Fresno Monsters, which were they were like the number 1 team in the USP. So they were destroying teams. Like, they beat the Shredders 24-0 one game and then beat them 25-0 the next game. So these guys are coming from a point where you're playing with these guys who are so skilled at hockey. They're from Sweden, they're from Ukraine, from wherever. And you come to Long Beach, and some of these guys have just played 18AA growing up. Like me, for example. You have other guys that have done the exact same thing where maybe it's just you played high school and then now you're here. So skill is definitely how you move up to D2.
You mentioned like the USP. What's like the highest level of juniors you've seen someone like you guys ever find like come across a QMJHL burnout, WHL burnout playing you?
Yeah. Like last year, the only time that I've had it on our team is there was a kid who was playing NCAA D3, and like you see D3 and you're like, oh, it's D3, but it's also NCAA, and a lot of difference between D1 and D3 at the NCAA level is kind of just opportunity. And then on top of that, it's some skill, but a lot of those guys they can go one-on-one all day long and like beat each other regardless. So we had a guy that played NCAA D3, and he was the nastiest player that I've personally ever seen, like had 70 points in the entire season. Last year too, I know LMU had 2 kids that were USHL burnouts. Like I think they were just done with it. They wanted to go to school, and both of them had 70 points in like 20 games, which is ridiculous. It's like almost 3 points a game. That's over 3 points a game, actually, quick math. So yeah, it's like stuff like that. That's the most skill I've ever seen, is guys that have burned out from like you're on the path to the NHL, and then you're just like, I either don't want to do it anymore, like maybe I can't make it, or maybe I just lost passion for it. So that's the best I've ever seen, besides Alejandro.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
High praise.
Yeah.
18AA rain, let's go.
Yeah, dude. Ripping it up.
As far as like stability goes, that's what you guys mentioned is the only way to really get up in divisions, right? Stability.
Yeah.
Is that something that falls on like Coach Raimondo's shoulders?
It's also on us. I mean, you're not going to go to a program that's losing every game. So it's on the players as well to get fans out and make it a welcoming atmosphere, and also winning games. I mean, that's the reason why I joined this team, is I wanted to win. It was between, Fullerton, Long Beach, and CSUN. CSUN was a bit far, and they didn't have a team last year. Fullerton got stomped by Long Beach, like 12-something. So, like, I'm not going there. So I came to Long Beach because they were winning games, and that's what it's about. It's a club at the end of the day, so it's very much player run. So it's very much on us as players, as people, to make this club what it is. As Paul said, you get in what you get out. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes plenty of sense. So let's talk about those results this season. You got to win to keep the program afloat, more or less. Build that stability.
Yeah.
Non-conference wise, you're 0-4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, we're 0-2 actually. Playing against teams out of our leagues, we're 0-2. Conference, we're 4-0 officially, with 2 exhibition games in NAU that we lost. Okay. So we're 4-0. 4-0.
Not
4-0 in conference.
0-2
in non-conference. 0-2 in exhibition.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
There's definitely a difference.
Those like non-conference / exhibition games, is that scheduling just like putting you up against teams that are going to help you for the next games?
100%. Yeah, because if like hypothetically, if we do make it to nationals, we're playing teams probably a little bit better than Fullerton, who's a D2 team, and to only lose by 4 goals is not bad at all, considering they're in a whole better league than us. But I mean, playing against NAU their first game in that was it 10K elevation? Yeah. Get the lungs going, get the legs moving. So that was pretty sick, and also pretty good trip.
Yeah, that was our first trip was to NAU to start the season, and it was like, being at that elevation, playing down here, it literally felt like someone had bricks attached to your legs. Yeah. Like just 14 bricks attached to both legs, and you try to skate, and you're playing against these other guys that are used to the elevation, they're used to the conditions. So you go and get the puck, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And then you turn around, and there's a guy just face first coming at you full speed, and you're just like, well, I'm going to die right now, right here. And that's kind of what it was, those first 2 games. But it definitely helped us, because now we see the competition that we're going to play, because we play NAU. Like they're a D3 team. They're in our conference. And those were just exhibition games. But like, that's a great way to start your season, is just to get like a reality check right away, to be like, oh, you're not as good as you think you are. And
for those trips, does everyone just like pack into one car, find as many people who can fit?
It's so funny.
What's travel like?
It's actually hilarious.
Yeah, so we got rental vans,
right,
and a couple Wagoneers, a couple Mazdas.
Yeah,
and we just had 5 to start off with.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, we had 5. So basically, it's a funny story.
Do we still have 5?
No.
To this day, no.
No.
It's
we
RIP.
have 4 actually.
That one's in a better place now. So essentially what it was, it's really funny. The story of it is we all kind of meet up at the pyramid because you have to leave from school to drive to the off-campus event. Yeah. So we all meet up. We start with 5 cars. I was joking with one of my friends who was a driver. I was like, dude, I hope you get T-boned. And then I immediately go to dap up Alejandro, and I dap him up, and I was like, I might have put that presence on, right? So then he immediately drives out of the pyramid, and those cones, if you know, by the pyramid where it's like the protected turn, the protected right turn, immediately hits all 4 of those cones just right away, as if it was a game, as if you were supposed to hit them, like just knocks them all down. So, off to a hard start. So we make one right turn, we make a left turn. We're going into a Starbucks just to like regroup. And
So you had to regroup from the 5 minutes away. We just left. We're
we
regrouping right
we had to
when
regroup after that hot start,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a left turn, and it starts as a protected left turn, and then it fades to just you have to yield. So first car goes, Alejandro's just like, it's protected, dude. Immediately goes, and we're like, I'm the car behind him too. So I just see this, and I'm just like, please God, no. T-boned at like 6 miles an hour somehow. So he immediately, 100% his fault, got T-boned right off the rip. And like, girl comes out yelling. She's like, how could you do this? What? Did you not see? Did you not see? I don't think he was paying attention either. The most tragic part of that is during that whole thing, Sergio Gritano on our team, milkshake goes flying out of his hand as he got T-boned, dude. It was all over the place, man. It was tragic. It was a hilarious story to tell, though.
Did you guys make it to the game on time?
Surprisingly, yeah, because
Well, we left the day before.
Yeah, we wanted to get up there with some time to spare, so we got used to the elevation. And then I think it was only like a 2-hour delay, which is pretty nice.
3 hours.
It was a 3-hour delay, which was,
Still not bad.
it was a hilarious story to tell. It was almost better than if we got up there and didn't get T-boned. So it's like now we have that story to tell for always.
Great little bonding though. Really brought the guys together.
Yeah, it did really bring the guys together, and he got chewed out for the entire trip because of it. It was genuinely hilarious. We have a dunce cap that you give, so whoever did like something stupid, like that game gets the dunce cap, and you have to wear it to class. And then Alejandro just volunteered for
I had to.
for
I had to give it
obvious
to myself.
reasons. So
We still haven't had a court yet, so I'm probably gonna get fined so much for that.
Oh, there's fines?
Yeah, we have a little court system going, so it's something. Yeah, it's like junior teams mostly do it, so it's like something we do to keep the team bonding. So for reasons we don't know, we haven't had court in a while, so hopefully the guys forgot about that next time we do court.
yeah,
How long back was that road trip?
was it a couple of weeks ago?
September 19th.
Yeah, he's a changed person since then. That would never happen again.
Yeah, better driver.
Yeah.
Shout out Mercury Insurance. Please stop calling me.
It's funny. I took a photo of that light, and I was like, "This is Cal State Long Beach hockey's biggest enemy right here. Is the unprotected left turn at Starbucks."
And then as far as other road trips, I know I was looking down the schedule. You guys play 3 games in 2 days.
The very next weekend, yeah.
No, January.
January. We have 3 games in 2 days?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Unless the schedule's not right. You play UC Davis on the 24th, the 25th, and then you play Santa Barbara again on the 25th.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
Santa Barbara's the next weekend.
yeah. Because I think didn't Santa Barbara get rescheduled?
No.
Okay.
So you're not playing 2 games in a day.
Okay.
We're not playing 2 games in a day.
I was worried for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara's the next weekend.
Okay.
Because that's Lexi's birthday. Yeah, that's my roommate's girlfriend's birthday. So we need to come back
Crazy
for that.
knows that, but yeah.
Well, we're making plans. Aren't you in the? Never mind, you're on the group chat. We can skip that. Paul's not part of those plans, but yeah,
Right in
David's
front of me, dude.
David's
Crazy.
trip.
Crazy.
David's trip in January, late January. No, it's first week of school, spring semester. So
Yeah.
off to another hot start. Semester begins. We're going out of town again, so that'll be fun to figure out classes.
Honestly, less interesting now. I thought you guys were playing 3 games in 2 days. Now it
God,
just
no,
sounds like a normal
no.
road trip.
Yeah.
Genuinely, if you play 2 games in one day, it's kind of game over. That second game. Yeah,
That's how they do it all up and down tournament style hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Tournament
you-
styles
Take
like
you
that.
back to childhood.
When you're
Oh, yeah.
14 and you're full of energy,
Yeah.
Not when you're
Yeah.
20 and you have a life.
No, that's
You
how
got
my
mid-
10U kids are. It's like you can play 2 games in a day because the first game you're just chewing on your stick in the corner halfway through the game. So it's like you're not really that tired for either of the games. So it's a little bit different in Long Beach because like every guy's going 100% every time, or at least you're trying to. So that second game is just like put me on a deathbed. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
And then post game, you get that big assignment waiting for you back at the hotel, so you're not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And the next day, instead of recovering, you're just grinding out an essay.
Is there anyone who's really superstitious in that locker room? Anyone got some weird
yes,
things?
yeah, Alan. Alan Hallen is so superstitious. He was saying, I think it was one year we played NAU and we all took like a tour bus up there. So somebody on that team just had the nastiest cough ever. It might have started with me.
Conover.
It was Conover. Yeah, Ryan Conover. Had the nastiest cough because I don't know what that guy does on his free time, but he got it somehow. So he was on the bus with all of us, and by the time we got up there, every single kid on the team had it. So we're all playing the worst games of our life, and it was a 3-game weekend. We played NAU twice, and then NAU once, and then GCU twice. NAU dumpstered us 7-0, and the fans they had were absolutely electric. Like, they were telling us the most
heinous
things you could ever imagine in your life during that game. And then we played GCU, played awful, lost both of those games too. So then after that, Alan was just like, I can't travel with the team anymore. That's my superstition, is if I travel with the team, we're going to lose the game. He didn't travel with the team up to NAU, and we still lost both the games. So maybe he'll be different now, possibly.
He also retapes his stick every intermission.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
It's so, I don't want to say it's bad, but it just, coach is ripping into us, yelling at us, and you just hear tape being ripped. And you look over, it's Alan just taping full toe to heel, full mummy tape job all the way down every intermission.
Yeah, and I sit right next to him, so it gets pretty annoying.
Yeah, I sat across from him. I got to look at that.
Yeah.
Who's got the worst tape job on the team?
Oh, probably me.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, he's it's half of the blade, but not the toe. And it's the most disgusting thing you've ever seen in your life. Just do it like a normal.
It's it's a thick black tape. I do 3 strips and then I just rip it off. It's at the very edge. It's from I don't even cover the toe. It's past the middle of the blade. A quarter of the blade is covered in tape. And I don't even know why. I don't even shoot that well. So I gotta change that.
It's got this serial killer tape job.
And then on average for a club team, how many twigs are you guys snapping each year?
5.
5 per player?
I think that's a lot.
Well, I snapped 5 last year.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, but his snap 5 was I got beat on a one-on-one drill in practice, bang, over the top of the net.
That was already broken, and it wasn't on top of the net. The stick was already broken, which is why I lost, because I messed up the pass, because the stick was broken, and I just finished it off in front of the net.
Yeah. He probably had 2 or 3 last year that were just I'm pissed off. This is going to be snapped over the back bar, just gone, snapped in half.
Yeah.
So there were a couple like that, but typically I would say you probably go through about 3. 3 broken sticks through a season. You get hacked sometimes.
Wear and tear.
Yeah, wear and tear. Some guys will literally just two-hand you over the top, and the ref's I didn't see anything. So,
it's well, my stick's broken, ref. Did you hear it?
Call something,
My hand's bleeding.
What kind of flex are you guys rocking? You doing too much? You doing too little?
That's one thing that I'm so superstitious about that I've been kind of harping on recently. I'm oh, my curve's wrong, that's why I messed up the toe drag, or my flex is off, that's why I can't stick handle. But now I'm in the mindset of maybe I just need to get better. I think that's kind of the thing. Okay. It's okay, I got new skates because I'm oh, I'm gonna be able to skate better. It's oh no, you still can't cross over. That didn't change because of your skates. But right now I'm an 85 flex. I had a 95 for a while, and then I realized I wasn't that strong. So I was oh, an 85 is way better for me.
See, I straight up set myself up for failure playing hockey. I'm a Kings fan too. You could get game used sticks for $100.
Oh, yeah.
I would saw them down, play off 110 flex and the worst curves ever.
Yeah.
Using Wayne Simmons sticks, Matt Green sticks.
You 56 pounds.
Yeah,
it's a 100-pound stick.
Playing Lubomir Visnovsky had the worst blade ever, but I'd use it because I was I've got a Visnovsky stick.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was big like that too, where it's if a professional player does it, then if I use it, I'll also be as good as that professional player. And then you're oh, I'm not that professional player for a reason. It's I can't shoot the puck. That's why. What flex do you use?
So before I say this, I'm 5'7", 150 pounds.
Yeah.
So my flex is 65.
Okay.
So I use intermediate 60.
Use a kid stick,
I'm pretty small,
he gets
pretty
a
light.
stick for $55.
Yeah, I gotta wish.
Because he gets the cheap ones.
I wish. But it's a discount. They're not 300. They're 250. So that's pretty good.
No, that's good. Getting towards wrapping up here. You guys got games next week. Starting off LMU, beat them 5-4 in overtime.
Yeah.
You gonna do it again?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Going on in overtime. We'll get Compton back.
Yeah.
And that's a home game, the Friday, the 25th, 7:30. That'll be a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, we're rivals in the same division. We don't like them. They don't like us. I think last game, I think we had a player punch a ref. That was pretty bad. On accident.
Yeah. No, we didn't do that on purpose.
Shout out Zach. But yeah, that's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a grimy game, greasy game. I mean, it's bad blood already from last time. So
yeah, losing on overtime because that was their home opener too. I think LMU's that was a home opener for them, and it was 4-3 with like 30 seconds left. We pull our goalie, put 6 out there. We win the puck, get it to the point. Puck is shot from the point, and David, number 6, tips it in, and we tie the game up with like 10 seconds left, which was already like we were hyped. We're like, all right, even if we lose this game, like whatever, that was sick. Probably a minute into it, Alan Hallen just like walks in past the blue line, the furthest shot I've ever seen, just snipes goalie top left. Like, don't even know how it went in, but it went in. We were ecstatic. So this will probably be another rivalry game where like they want to kick us while we're down type beat.
And then you mentioned you're getting Nate Compton back. What's the least amount of players you guys have played with?
9.
No.
Last year.
Well, last year was like it was. I think we were down to like 8. Oh yeah, there was a time where we had 6. We had 6 because this was versus Fullerton too. It was 5 guys were on the ice. No, sorry, 4 guys were on. 3 guys were on the ice. I was in the box. James McGuire was in the box, and then we had 2 extra guys on the bench. So yeah, we had 5 players at one point. So yeah, those games get tough.
There's no like restrictions. If you guys don't,
you could literally have 5 guys. Yeah, you could have 5 guys on the team, and like
I think
realistically, you wouldn't want to play, but
like to have a team, you gotta have 15 to play. Like 15 players in general, including goalies. But with injuries, everyone gets to them. Every team, so we're not special. But I think last year we had like 9 guys one game against Fullerton.
Yeah.
Aidan got out. Easton wasn't there.
Yeah.
I left the game early because I was injured. And I just look over and there's just 4 guys in the box sitting.
Yeah, so there was 2 injuries and then a play where we were both in the box for 2 minutes. So we had 5 guys in total out there, which was brutal. But that's just how it goes sometimes.
ACHA, baby.
Yeah.
And then you got one last game that weekend, UC Irvine.
Yeah.
That's a league game, so that one's pretty important.
That one is, yeah.
Yeah, another home game.
Yeah.
7:30 Saturday night. That should be fun. I mean, last year was pretty back and forth from what I can remember. So it's another good game. But I think we should pull a win off of that one.
And then however else you guys want to finish, you got any pitches, getting people into those seats. What do they got to do?
I mean,
where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find us at LBSU Hockey on Instagram. That's where all of our stuff is at. A lot of good updates. Lauren posts a lot of good stuff, stories as well. So you're constantly updated of when games are, where they're at, what time, and then you get some sick graphics along with that. If you want to come out to a game, it's $5 if you don't have a student ID. If you do have a student ID, it's free. The games are electric. Some of the games are definitely a lot better. So like our LMU game will be electric. So if you want to come out to that one, absolutely recommend coming out to that one. The UCI game will be electric as well. So if you want to come up to that, I think beers are also like $3.
Yeah, we got beers. We got hockey fights.
Yeah, people love beer. So
we got merch.
Yeah, yep. If you guys come out to a game, we'll fight specifically for you.
Yeah, just call us out by name.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow Nick Diesel on Instagram. That's our assistant coach.
Yeah,
guy's a unit.
That's the best looking guy on our team. That's the best, most in shape guy on our team.
Yeah,
is our assistant coach.
Assistant coach.
Oh yeah. He's built like a Greek god.
Back squatting like 580 pounds, like no big deal.
You've never thought about putting a jersey on him and just trying to get him in?
I think I played beer league with him, and it's like the scariest thing ever. Yeah. He has like the worst hands, but he will run right through you. It's terrifying.
I'd be terrified what he could do on the ice because the way he screams at us sometimes is just like terrifying. He yells at some guys on the bench, and I'm just like,
it's the funniest thing.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm glad I'm not getting screamed at right now because I'd probably cry. Probably cower in a corner and cry.
Like he'll jump in reps with us at practice and he'll just cook us because we're just so terrified to even touch him. When he has no gear, too, that's the man who you don't want to get on your bad side because he will just ruin your life and just ruin your confidence.
100%, yeah.
I feel like I can keep going forever, but we're running out of time. Yep. One last thing, ladders. Do you hate them?
It's a love-hate relationship.
I forgot about ladders. I wanted to talk about them earlier. Yeah. Worst drill.
Yeah, it's like it sucks, but at the same time, my biggest thing is like my legs give out halfway through the game. So I'm like, I have to do ladders if I want to be able to stay in a game the whole time. So it's like, I love them, but I also hate them. We've done ladders before where one of our teammates literally got blown up, like murdered, killed on the ice, dead. Had to bring out a stretcher.
From his brother.
Yeah, from his brother.
What, doing ladders?
Doing ladders, yeah. Because we all went at the same time,
Yeah.
and there's 20 guys on the ice, and it was actually Flick. Shout out Flick to Jacob too. Flick was coming down. Jacob was just like bagging it head down. Flick just blows him up. Sounds like a crunch bar when you snap it. It was probably the nastiest sound I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, ladders, I got a love-hate relationship for them. Overall, I'd say I love them.
No, I gotta hate him. I think there's better ways to get cardio in. It's more of a punishment.
Teach their own, you know.
Did I tell you I skated my 10U team last season? Me
No.
and Easton. Oh,
Yeah,
real quick.
brutal.
Easton Laird and I are rec coaches at Irvine, and we had a 10U team. And they were just dogging it for practice. It was just brutal. Not making passes, no effort. Even for 10-year-olds, it was bad. Easton was so mad. He's like, you gotta skate him. Skate him. I'm like, okay, let's do one more drill. He goes, no, skate him. I'm like, all right, goal line, guys. And I just skated my 10U team. Second practice before the championship game. We ended up losing, but not because of that. But still, it was like the funniest thing. I've never seen Easton so passionate. And he's just like yelling at these like 7, 8-year-olds to go skate.
Yeah.
The
keep
parents
in
loved it,
mind-
though. Parents loved it.
Parents love the passion.
Oh, yeah.
Easton also, when he played for us last year, probably never skated faster than 6 miles an hour, but like had the nastiest hands. Like if you put that kid on a breakaway, it's game over. Back check, non-existent, but like disgusting at hockey. So that's really funny that he said they weren't skating.
They weren't.
Got
They
mad at him
weren't.
for it.
And that was an experience. That was fun.
Yeah.
I was so prepared to like my little speech to the parents of like why we skated them, but no, they didn't say. They just said, "Good job, thank you so much, good job." I'm like, okay, see you next week for a championship game.
Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you
Of
for
course,
having
man.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Hope we
Appreciate
can help
it.
put you guys even more on the map.
Appreciate
And
it.
Thank you so much for joining us for season 4, episode 9 of Teed Up. Thank you to our video editor and producer, Aidan Swanepoel, and our multimedia producer, Elle Nicklin. If you want to stay up to date on the latest in Long Beach State sports, check out our website, lbcurrent.com, and follow us on socials at lbcurrent. Thanks so much for listening. See you later. We throw up big hearts. You gotta throw up big hearts.
Big
Big
hearts.
heart.